everyone, Catherine Jarris here. Pronouns are they, them, and theirs. I am a professional psychic and a professional brow artist, and Psychic Brows is the channel where I combine both. This week's series is called Crossing Over 7 Things I've Learned as a Psychic Medium. And today's topic that we'll be exploring is called Sensing Different Types of Energy. When I do readings and I connect with someone who's passed, the way I'm doing it is I'm connecting to their energy. And I think people who seek out psychic sessions or do it themselves, they obviously have an understanding of this. And what I'm going to attempt to do is to diversify between what it feels like of an energy of someone who's passed versus someone who hasn't. And in doing so, I'm going to have to share a vulnerable story about when I wasn't able to fully differentiate between the two. But the reason I'm sharing it is because it's a very helpful lesson that I learned and that I was able to apply to future. And isn't that what this week's series called? 7 Things I've Learned. And when I do readings, as I've noted before, I'm learning a lot of things on the job because, frankly, there wasn't a university I went to for it, or of things that could always be applied to each individual. I'm going to read the way the language of reading is for me, and somebody else is going to do it for them, and their guides work with them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't know how to say it other than when I connect with someone who's passed, I can feel that they're passed. I can feel that they're no longer on this earth. Where it came up as a point of confusion for me is when I was doing a session for somebody whose mother was missing. And their mother had gone missing, and they sought me out because they were trying to find out if their mother was still alive or if their mother had passed. And so when we did this session, it was a very different sensation for me, and I didn't know what to do with it in the moment. What I recall when I was doing it is that this person's mother, I could see their soul and I could describe them, but who came forward stronger was actually their grandmother, who was protecting the mother, is the best way I can describe it. They were both adults. The grandmother was grandmother's age when she had passed. The mother would have been the age she was in the current moment when she was missing. And I saw this grandmother holding this mother, imagine the mother being on the ground, kind of half laying down, and the grandmother next to her and holding her upper body from the torso up and protecting her and caring for her. And I very clearly had described the grandmother coming through and that she very clearly was passed, which they confirmed. And the mother, I didn't know what to make of it because she didn't feel the same to me as the grandmother who was passed, but yet she didn't feel like she was fully, like she was here on earth. And I had said that in the session. I said, I don't know what's going on here. I'm not sure. And I repeated what I just said. I said that. And I said, so I don't know. Maybe your mom's passed, which isn't something that should ever be a maybe or told to someone. And I had to say, I'm not sure. It feels like it feels like they are, but it also doesn't feel the same. I didn't have that 100% like, this is how it feels to me with other people who I connected with who had passed. So we kind of had to leave it at that. There was some, I can't remember everything, but there were some messages from the grandma, there was some connection with that. And again, the point of theme of this was the grandmother was cradling and caring for the mother. And so then the session ended and some time passed and I was, it was over and I was bothered by it because I didn't understand it and I didn't know what to make of it. And further exploring of it, I came to, within talking with guides and such, I came to the understanding what they shared with me. And that was that she wasn't past. What I was experiencing was that she just wasn't fully in her body. And I was confused, and we talked about some more. And, I think I've said when I've done readings and sessions, I'm not fully in my body. And so I was like that? And they said, she's not fully in her body because her soul is protecting her, and her soul is temporarily out of her body. And while her soul is temporarily out of her body, her mother, who was the grandmother that came through, is helping to protect her when she's not fully in her body. And they explained to me that she wasn't fully in her body due to a mental instability, a mental disorder, bipolar, I believe is what they said. And that, so when she was having episode, she wasn't always fully in her physical body. And that's what I was picking up on. And that's what I didn't understand. I did connect with the person I did the reading for after that. And they did confirm for me two things: that yes, the mother suffered from mental disorder, bipolar, and that yes, they did find her and she was off her medication and she was not in her full self. And I apologize profusely that I couldn't differentiate what that was. And I explained to them what I'm explaining in this story so that they understood that it was a learning piece for me that I hadn't known yet. And, fortunately for future people, and, unfortunate for them in the moment when I couldn't be clear or not clear, now I could feel the difference. Now I know what that difference is. And now it's a known to me. And I could apply that for future when I encountered stuff like that. And so it's I wish I could just say everything was always perfect and everything was just nailed or known ahead of time. But that's one of the reasons why doing sessions can be so, for me, sometimes, like I said, I have to drop all control and just fully trust, because I never know what's going to happen. And if I really fully allow that full trust to come through when I'm in a moment like that in my session, I now know how to explore it in the moment in the session and connect with my guides and figure out what's going on. And it was a big learning piece and a big advancement piece for me. And I'm not proud of what I went through in it, only because it affects other people, but I'm proud that I was able to further learn from it and apply it for current and future. And sometimes that's just life. Sometimes it is how things come out. And I've learned to not get stuck in the session and explore it. And then in addition to that, I've also learned if I can't get through it and figure it out, I very clearly say, I do not know. And so we're gonna have to put this on pause for right now, because I don't want any misinformation or information that can get inferred as something that it isn't. So that would be today's lesson. And it's one that I carry with me for always. And so I hope by sharing that people are able to always understand for themselves where there's opportunity for growth and embrace it and be able to make it something beautiful. I appreciate you joining me today. I look forward to our next session. Always check in the beginning of the week when I'll have a new series, and the following days will always have follow-up topics to it. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hi, thanks for watching. If you'd like more psychic or bra-related content, be sure to comment and let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Take care.